Yeah, I was in the middle of talking about it. Future 2-0'd Gumiho. Somehow, some way, Future causes that upset, but then he gets 2-0'd by Cure in the quarterfinals. Dark versus Cure is currently underway in the upper half of the bracket to find out who moves on to the grand finals. We are here to find out who's going to face the winner of Cure and Dark. We have ourselves a PvP. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have the South Korean Protoss player. He just took down Eric 2-0. He is the best Protoss in the entire bracket, or he's looking to prove that. It's representing Team Abydos. It is Creator. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have his opponent. We have the American Protoss representing Alpha X. It is Astrea. The two best Protoss in the tournament, Astrea and Creator, are going to be facing off here in this PvP. The winner is going to face a Terran in the semifinals, either Bjorn or Clem. We are nearing the end of the tournament. We have one semifinals already underway, and we have two quarterfinals currently underway as well. So maybe 2 or 3 series remaining here in this tournament, in this broadcast. It feels like the cast has gone quickly. Maybe I'm crazy, but it feels like it's gone by relatively quickly here. We were engrossed in Eric, and when we got out, it's like, oh, we're almost done. Ay. Hold on. I need to message Eric. I need to give him some hearts. Less than 3. There we go. Just send him a message. Send him a message. Send him some love. Send him some love. As we're getting into this, and so far we have a pretty peculiar opener. Astrea is going for a Stalker Adept opener. Meanwhile, across the map, we have Creator going for a much more standard double Stalker instead. With this, Astrea, he can be a little bit aggressive. You know, it's kind of like his foot isn't a little bit in both doors here with his aggressiveness and his defensive style as well. Is going to be moving out with his Adept just for some scouting information for a little bit of map presence. Meanwhile, we do have a pylon block. Astrea is forced to delay his Nexus, and he goes for a Stargate instead. They're going to be prioritizing that tech of choice. Meanwhile, Creator back at home goes for a second warp in of Stalkers before going for his own Nexus timing. Nexuses are around at the same time. Of course, Creator just investing his gas in more Stalkers. Astrea saving it for a faster start. Let's go, Bobby. Let's go. Do you have the Adept shading? Committing to the shade. Surprisingly, across map, he's going to get 1 probe for his troubles, but only a singular probe as the Adept does go down. I don't think that's quite worth it here for Astrea. Meanwhile, Creator, his second choice is going to be a Twilight Council instead. We did have a bit of a scout. We should be seeing another hallucinated scout soon from Creator to figure out what is going on. He still doesn't have eyes on that Stargate, as he's going to be pushing forward here on the front lines, going to be applying some pressure at this natural. There is going to be a stasis trap. Just have to be careful. I wonder if yeah, I'm sure he does see it as well. The pylon is going to get focused, forces the shield battery to overcharge even on the pylon. Oh my god. Creator doing so much with so little. Meanwhile, Astrea was banking up his oracles. He's zooming across the map with 2 now at a time. There is a shield battery, but 1 shield battery is not going to be enough. Creator, I believe he did see the shimmer of that stasis trap, so he knows there's at least 1 oracle, and there we go. He confirms the second oracle as well. The Stalkers are in position. Great hallucinated scout, and Creator is going to try and catch them. Doesn't quite get them in the end, but they're taking a lot of hits. Oh my god, there's even sentries in the main as well. Oh, Astrea, he's trying to get out. He's trying, but he will not. 1 oracle for 3 probes. not something we want to be seeing here. Can he get the second? He gets both oracles? Oh my god. Creator with his stalker positioning, it is going to cost him 2 of these stalkers, but well worth it. Looking at the units lost tab here, you can see the investment into gas. Astrea having a rookie start this game. Prioritizing that Stargate production, prioritizing those oracles, and for that to fall on its face. Ay, ay, ay. Ugh. Creator just shutting him down. We do have our 3rd Nexus on the way. A much faster Forge as well to start +1. So Creator's upgrades are going to be on point. Astrea, again, a lot of his gas was spent elsewhere. He's going to be rotating around, but this is spotted by the hallucination. Creator, he just knows. He just knows. Forces a cancel on the pylon. Astrea is going to be looking to try and catch a couple of these reinforcing stalkers, though. Blink is still not done yet. Still, we need a couple of seconds for Astrea, so Creator's going to be able to take advantage of that. Oh, and we have the aggressive Blink forward as well. We're going to be trading Stalker for Stalker here, but I think this is still a better trade for Creator. Ooh. Oh my god, the Blink control from Astrea. Wow, he avoids 2 of those volleys. But he's going to take some hits towards the end as well. We trade back and forth in the end. A Creator does end up losing a couple more Stalkers. It's a very nice control from Astrea, avoiding a lot of those shots. Going to be taking his own 3rd base a little bit later than Creator's. Creator will have that economic advantage. We'll have that upgrade advantage. We have Immortal production commencing to make up for the lower Stalker count that Creator now has. Astrea is going to be dipping on in to deny mining time at the 3rd base. We have 2 Adepts shading in towards the natural. Oh! Don't quite commit to the shade though. That Nexus is taking a lot of hits. Yo, Creator, he can't afford to lose this. Oh no! 1 more volley and the Nexus goes down. Creator a little bit lax with him when it comes to his defense. Not quite going for the warp ins, not quite in position. No shield battery either, despite the fact that this base did finish so much faster. I mean, there was a shield battery, but it wasn't really in range to support. No overcharge, no nothing. Astrea coming back in a really great way, especially because his oracles didn't really do much. His oracles kind of fell on their face, so the onus was on Astrea to come back in this game. He did out-trade Creator with the Stalker control, and he even denied this 3rd base, so now the pressure is on Creator. Pressure is on. Oh, we're just stretching. We're stretching, Papi. Here we go. Creator's going to be moving out here. He does have 2 Immortals with his army. He does have a crisp +1 timing. We've got +2 behind this, but initially, Creator is going to be hitting with his +1. Astrea is still a ways off. He's making a Dark Shrine, actually, so he will have that defensively, but it's only just now started. Oh boy, Creator, does he have enough to overcome the Stalker count of Astrea with those 2 Immortals, with the Force Fields as well? A couple of Force Fields are going to be thrown down. We have the overcharge for Astrea. Creator is being forced back. Just trying to find the angle of choice here, activating that Guardian Shield. Oh no, the Prism! The Prism is exposed. Oh, we did have a bit of a misclick from Astrea, but he gets the Prism anyway. Creator can no longer reinforce. Immediately does rebuild that Prism. As he goes into the main, into the natural. The boys are being pulled. All the boys, actually. The natural and at the 3rd. Astrea taking this very seriously. SimCity being used against Astrea right now, against all those foes. We have a recall. Astrea loses a lot of workers, but he does shut down the army. He resets the sentries. He resets the Immortals. When it comes to the Stalkers, Astrea also has that advantage. Now he's going for a counterattack. He has to go for a counterattack. He has a 4th base, so he can make 4 probes at a time to catch up. Dark Shrine is now done. We have Blink on the way for those DTs. And Creator isn't ready for it. He doesn't have a cannon at the natural. No cannon in the main. No cannon at the 3rd. Do we have any observers? We have no observers. Uh-oh. Wait, these DTs, they could end the game. Straight up. Creator may be ahead economically, but he needs more than just that. Immortal does go down. The DTs are waddling on in. We have an observer on the way. It looks like maybe Creator has recognized what's going on. DT gets into the main. DT gets into the third. Cannon is just about to finish up. Oof, just in time. Six probes have fallen. We recalled one of them. Do use that recall to save whatever DTs we can. And after all said and done, after things are going to be calming down here, Astrea has been able to retake that worker lead after losing so many earlier, and that goes to show the power of not just 4 Nexuses, but 4 Chronos at a time. Did have to eat into the tech overall of Astrea. We do have that +2 upgrade timing for Creator, but he's not going to be hitting it right now. He's slowly expanding, which means it's giving an opportunity for Astrea to catch back up in those upgrades. He's on the way, Papi. He is on the way. The Creator rotating around, looking to try and find that army. Archives on the way as well, so we can go into Archon production to help against the Zealots. Charge that Archon. Blink. And at that moment, honestly, Astrea, all he has to do is defend. Like, he has the 4th base. It's been running for far longer as well. Creator gonna try and deny that. But he does get spotted, and Astrea can rotate over and meet up with the army of Creator. The blinks are looking good. Charge is still not done. It's kind of awkward to see this many slow lots coming in from Astrea because of that. Creator can dance with his army. Here we go. The Chargers are getting on top of some of these Immortals as well. Creator does pull back to the safety of those Archons, though. The Archons doing so much splash damage to the Zealots. Ooh. Yeah, and as the Zealots get cleaned up, we do see Creator diving on top of this army as well. Finally, charge is done for Astrea, but is it a little bit too little too late? These 2 Archons are the MVPs. We blink on forward for Creator. He does focus down that Immortal, and it looks like Creator has a little bit too much, despite having, in a way, a smaller army, having technically less supply. He had a much more efficient army and much more efficient supply. Defender's warping, the defender's advantage is kicking in, and Astrea is forcing this back. At the same time, mate, the DTs are going ham. The entire mineral lines are going down. No cannons at the 3rd base. Creator is being forced all in. And even though he was able to take a much more efficient fight, look at the worker count. The probes are all gone.
I am but
GG gets called, and Astrea takes game number 1. The power of the DT, Poppy. GG, well played. Pretty back and forth overall. There were moments where both players were looking quite powerful and quite strong, but in the end, the DT harass was a little bit too much there, and Creator just didn't really have the economy to sustain more Warbmans to commit to try and break the 4th base. Astrea did. Astrea, his own economy, his own worker count was what it needed to be. GG gets called. GG. Oh. Starving, Buffy. Oh, it looks like the game of choice has been decided. I just saw Ash's meme. Touching grass isn't enough. I need to sink in and decompose. Smooge, puppy, smooge. Oh. As it looks like we're being joined by other casters, which means some of the other series have ended. I'm curious. What has been going on some of those other English streams, as it looks like Pig and Biomov will be joining us for the rest of this series. it looks like, oh, they were casting the TVT, and Clem did eliminate Beyond 2-1. Clem is waiting in the semifinals for the winner of this series. Let's go. Let us go, Poppy. Let us go. Personally, I'm hoping for Dark. I'm cheering for Dark to move on to the grand finals so we can have a little bit more of a diverse array of players and race distribution. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. As we haven't been able to cast Dark yet today, and I want to. I want to get into Dark later. Oh, I want to get into Dark at some point in my life. Ay. And here we go. We are going to be spawning in on Dragon Scales in game number 2, and in the top left-hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have his opponent. We have our first Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Team Abydos. It is Creator. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have his opponent. We have the American Protoss representing Alpha X, currently leading this series 1-0. It is Astrea. Let's go, Poppy. Let's go. I'm just watering a tree. But yeah, pretty back and forth game number 1. There were moments when Creator was looking quite good with his faster third, if you recall, but like Astrea with some quick moves was able to punish that and was able to get a kill on that Nexus. And that was really the beginning of like the momentum swing for Astrea economically to kill a base, kill a Nexus, quickly get his own 4th base as well. His economy was crazy. It was crazy. And even though in that big push from Creator with +1, I think it was with +1, even though he did kill 21 probes, and that was a lot of probes dying, like Astrea had been mining with more for longer as well, so again, it was something that he could afford to do. As we're going to be continuing this series, both players going for gate expands and both players committing to the gate expands. The Nexuses weren't really delayed too much from either player. We're going to be able to get into a pretty standard setup here. Very economic opener for everyone involved. You love to see it. Yeah, for those wondering, just, I guess because there's nothing else to talk about. This is something that Protoss players do on ramp maps. Because we have a ramp going into the natural, it is safe to expand and be greedy like this and go for a faster Nexus and delay your production, delay your tech. We do see from here, the tech of choice from Astrea is going to be a Stargate. Meanwhile, Creator hasn't quite gone for that yet. He's actually going for a second gateway instead. So he's going to be having a bit of a stronger ground army early on. Can maybe take advantage of that and maybe take advantage of Astrea. Meanwhile, the Adept is going to be, again, poking and prodding, looking for a way in. These walls are a little bit more awkward to wall off here to defend against Adepts. So we do see Astrea just kind of making life difficult for Creator, shading whenever he can. Oh, as we do see, the Adept does slip on in anyway, and it looks like he's going to be able to get 1 probe kill. Can he get 2? Oh, only 1. Only 1 in the end for Astrea. Meanwhile, he's being so greedy. My god. Before his second gateway, he delayed Warp Gate quite a lot as well to go for that faster Stargate. But he's delaying his second gateway, delaying Warp Gate for a Twilight Council as well. So much off of only a singular gateway. So much greed here out of Astrea. Meanwhile, Creator was able to scout and confirm the Oracle opener at least. So he's at least aware of that. The Oracle already taking a couple of hits here in the middle of the map. The hallucination does confirm it as well. Creator is going to be warping in defensively back in his own main. Oh, Zorko is going to try and slip on in. We do have a shield battery though, so with the help of that shield battery, yeah, not a single probe should be going down. He goes for the gas mining workers instead, and he gets one, he gets two. Two more than he should have gotten, to be honest, as Astrea is setting up a proxy. Oh my god, Astrea just going full NA. Again, the amount of corners that he has cut is actually terrifying. Like, I'd be so anxious if I was Astrea, but he is filled with confidence. He goes for the proxy Dark Shrine. He's going for a blink as well, so if his natural does get scouted, everything is looking normal. And Creator, great minds think alike. He went for a Twilight Council opener straight into his own. Oh god, his own proxy! But Astrea, he finds it. He finds the DTs. Stalkers are making their way to intercept this proxy location. And Creator is distracted by the oracles of Astrea. Astrea, he should be able to force a cancel. Ugh. Oh god, this is brutal, and these DTs, they've ended games before and they could do it again. We do see Creator moving on forward, though he does have quite a large Stalker army. 10 Stalkers in total for Creator, 8 for Astrea. There's the cancel, but Creator is looking to try and dive on top of this army. Blink is now done for both players. As Astrea backs off to the safety of his third base, he's going to be losing a lot of Stalkers though, and Creator is going to quickly snowball. The third base is now under threat. At the same time, DTs are warped in the cross map to deal some counter damage. Do we have any detection? We do not, but we do have a sentry. Creator must be thinking to himself, what is going on? Here we go. The sentry is holding fast. Oh no, no force field. The DTs get in. Probes are falling. Astrea is going to lose his third base, but Creator is losing workers across the map. Oof. Both players are going to be hurting in different ways. We have a recall back home, but I don't really know what these Stalkers can really do defensively. We do have one observer, but 12 probes just went down. We're about to have 13. Astrea down in base, but ahead in workers. Creator down in workers, but ahead in bases. Oh my god. The DT survived. No! The DT gets found out. Is going to get cleaned up. But Astrea is going for his own counterattack. Creator is pretty out of position here. He's going to be losing at least the pylon. Oh my god! Creator, he dives on this army. He recognizes that he does have the Stalker advantage right now. But not when the reinforcements show up. Bold move by Astrea. From here, where do we go? I mean, I guess Astrea is going to be settling back into his own third. Hopefully this time he can hold on to it. Once again, Astrea is down in the Stalker count though, so we may see a repeat of what we saw earlier. Yeah, Creator, he's just going to be able to push himself forward here. He's just dominating the Stalker fight, and 3 Stalkers is all it takes. Creator, he's warping aggressively as well. He is very committed with this army. It looks like Astrea just can't stop him. The third base goes down for a second time. Meanwhile, across the map, oh my god, there's a pylon in the main. How? That's how? It's a probe in the main. How long has that been there? The DTs are going to be able to once again wreak havoc in the bases of Creator. The boys are being pulled. We have a defensive Immortal. Astrea is going to be able to defend his main. And Creator is losing everything across the map. The probes are pulled to fight against the DT, something you never want to be seeing. Oh my god. The economy of Creator is almost non-existent. We just see him rotating over towards the natural base instead. The Immortal is here though. I need to watch the replay. I need to figure out how the hell this probe got in and how long it's been here. How? Oh my god. As the DCs are finally being cleaned up, but Creator is down to a single mineral line. He's down to 16 probes. Even less. Even less, Papi. He's down to 13 probes. The pylon is still in the main. Oh my god. And meanwhile, Creator's going for the killing move. He is supply blocked, to be fair, and he's making his third for the third time, actually. Even he kills the third of Creator with those DTs. And Astrea, he may be behind in the Stalker count, but he now has an Immortal, so his army can go toe-to-toe. I think Astrea recognizes that he doesn't have to be aggressive right now. Just chill out at home. All he has to do is defend, and he will be perfectly fine. The Dark Shrine has finally been scattered, but Astrea, he wants more damage. Oh my god, he gets the Prism. Creator, one of the best Protoss in the world, is looking to have his run cut short here. Astrea in the PvP was just a little bit too fancy, a little bit too greedy. Got away with so much early on, and has been pulling Creator apart. No cannons. No stack detection. Here we go. Creator is giga all in. He has to end the game with this push. He dives on top of that Immortal. The shield barrier is putting in a lot of work for Astrea. And it looks like it's going to be just barely enough for Astrea to defend and shut this down. We have an overcharge. And with that overcharge, mate, barely anything is going to die. GG gets called. Astrea takes the series 2-0. Wow. GG, well played. Congratulations. Oh my god, with the power of DTs. I say that, but again, it was such a greedy opener from Astrea to go for the Stargate before it was obviously a gate expand into the Stargate, into the Twilight Council, into the Dark Shrine off of one gate. Oh my god. And we saw Creator had his own moves, he had his own strengths in this series. But again, the lack of detection, the lack of cannons, whether it's cannons or observers or just defensive play, Creator was just pulled apart left and right. Unfortunate for there to be a pylon in the main of Creator as well. That's wild. Absolutely wild. GG. GG. Astrea moves on to the semifinals where he'll be facing Clem. Meanwhile, do we have an update on what else has been going on between Dark and Cure? I know that's being casted by some of the other casters over on the Korean server. Let's see if I can slip into that. What's been happening? It looks like Dark is about to tour. Dark is up 1-0 against Cure, and he's looking damn good in game 2. Damn. That's that's not looking too good for Cure. So it looks like Dark is looking to be our first finalist for ESL Open Cup Americas. We still have to find out who he's going to face.